Okay, so before we get started, here's the overall gist of Army of Two. We were, Oatmeal and I were originally going to start with number one, but, well, EA pulled the servers, 2 years ago, I think it was?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
They really preemptively threw a wrench into our plans.
Yeah, whole bag of wrenches. And, you know, we can't co-op like this. I mean, we can't play the single-player mode separately. That's just sacrilegious, especially because single-player in these games isn't that great. It shines in co-op, apparently. So we decided, unfortunately, that we'd have to skip the first installment.
But we did try really hard, I mean really hard, to find a hack or a workaround or something. It just was not meant to be.
There's nothing you can do about it. But, Geob, what about Part 1's plot, you might ask?
And I might ask that. I mean,
Oatmeal might be asking the same thing as well. I zipped through some YouTube videos and looked over some plot synopses.
Synopses, yes.
Synopsises. I'm going to explain all of Army of Two Part 1. The naming convention gets a little weird because they didn't go for the 1, 2, 3. It's Army of Two, and Army of Two something else, and then Army of Two something else as well. But this is Army of Two 1. Army of Two Part 1.
Got it.
Okay. So as a heads up, viewer, Oatmeal is as in the dark as you are right now. Oatmeal, feel free to chime in at your leisure. I may not be able to answer a lot of questions, though, so...
Yes, I just want to confirm I know literally nothing about this series except it's a heavily co-op series of games.
Okay, so let me take you way back. Way back. It is 1993, okay?
Oh man, like half of our viewers weren't even born yet.
Oh, I know. I remember 1993. That was awesome.
It was it was an okay year.
I think Doug was done by then, though.
Was it?
I think.
Hmm.
Oh, right. LP stuff. So at this point, the U.S. had a bit of a kerfluffle going on over in Somalia. The movie or the book or the whole operation of Black Hawk Down?
I am, yes, vaguely familiar.
Yeah, that's pretty much what was going on in the area at this time, and our two goons we were controlling, they were over there with the 75th Rangers. Now, the two characters in particular, we have Tyson Rios. Rios is basically the very serious straight man, very level-headed. He's also the bigger guy of the two. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a Biggie Smalls combo. And then Elliot Salem is, he's the typical snarky sidekick type guy. It's also kind of mentioned offhandedly a few times, but he's not very good with money, and he likes gambling. So, they're kind of both opposites in a number of ways.
So,
but
this is Buddy Flick, the video game, is what I'm saying.
Yes, it's Buddy Flick the game.
Oh, man.
So, our two protagonists were with the 75th Rangers, as I mentioned, and...
Well, this thing is turning into a real shitstorm. They hired some hotshot mercenary named Philip Clyde to take down Moalim instead of us. This guy's the best of the best, but he's a little unstable. So I want you two to meet him at the old Continental Hotel and make sure he actually takes out Moalim like he's supposed to. Do it yourself if you have to.
This Clyde guy works with some boring named company called the Security and Strategy Corporation.
And he also has two first names.
SSC. Exactly. It's the SSC, and in this world, PMCs are gaining traction. Mm-hmm. We view it as like an alternate sort of take on our world. And SSC is one of the largest PMCs stomping around. Now, he was supposed to work with our dynamic duo in assassinating a local warlord named Abdullahi Moalim. And, well, shockingly enough, Clyde is a massive, useless jerkbag. He is a colossal asshole.
I'm Corporal Tyson Rios, and this is Private First Class Elliot Salem, Chalk 4, U.S. Army Rangers. Are you Philip Clyde?
What the fuck do you think?
Bro, we're supposed to help you take out Colonel Moalim.
First of all, I ain't your bro. Second of all, you don't tell me to wait. I tell you what to do. And last, if you think I need your help with this or anything else, you are a moron. Now that we got that cleared up, Why don't you just shut the fuck up and watch a real professional in action? You might learn a thing or two.
All right, Professor. Why don't you start by teaching us where Mo Alim is hiding?
Where's Clyde?
How the hell should I know?
That guy creeps me out. I don't like not knowing where he is.
Clyde to Richard Dalton. I've completed the mission. Transfer the second half of my fee into my account.
He's just a gigantic asshole.
That's,
So, yeah.
We gotta talk to Dalton. This guy is such an asshole. I know. I tried to tell him before, but he wasn't having any of it.
Man, that's what sucks about the Army. We don't get to choose what missions we go on or who we work with. We just have to follow orders.
Are you just now figuring this out?
You boys were unstoppable down there. Like an army of two. You're the one who did a good job. You kept this mission on track when everything went wrong. We could use someone like you at SSC, and you could make 3-4 times what you're making here. Easy. Is that so?
This is Alice Murray. She'll be handling your missions. You remember Philip Clyde?
Listen, I ain't working with that guy ever again.
You won't have to. He reports directly to me. Does solo missions for me only.
In his farewell address to the nation, President Eisenhower left America with a strong warning. Ernest Stockwell, CEO of Security and Strategy Corporation, says that warning was misguided, and our future depends on the private military.
To fear the military-industrial complex is to fear progress. Look at the operation in Somalia. 35 U.S. soldiers dead, hundreds wounded. But not a single private contractor was injured in the operation. We outperformed the military and achieved all our objectives flawlessly. Some critics will call this profiteering, but I call it progress.
Yeah.
Wake up, hun. It's Alice.
Alice who?
You haven't seen the news, have you?
Once again, terrorist attacks.
Your plane for
this
Afghanistan
morning
leaves at
in New
noon.
York
Oh,
and
shit.
Washington.
Things are about to get real
All
busy.
flights-
Real
fast, so get ready. Tyson.
Are you listening to me?
Yeah. Noon. I'll be there.
Okay, let's run through this one more time. You parachute to the mountaintop helipad, disabling any localized defenses. From here, you'll enter the cave complex at its highest point and work your way down. This used to be a launch site for Russia's M11 missiles. It's been abandoned for 15 years, until 2 years ago when Mohammed al-Habib, a leading al-Qaeda operative, found it. He's been working to make the missiles operational again. The M11 is an intermediate-range ballistic missile. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is that they are never launched. First, you'll need to destroy any missiles in the upper region of the cave complex. Then go down to the lower regions, destroy any missiles there, and find Brian Hicks. He's one of ours, sent in to do the same job as you, but he failed. We believe he's still being held captive by al-Habib. You'll need to bring him back alive. There's also a bonus if you take out al-Habib. He's extremely dangerous and an expert killer, so be careful. Questions?
No, sir.
Good. And one more thing. Everything you see or do down there never happened. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So our best buds after this are after some Al-Qaeda bad guy in Afghanistan. This is still in 2001, just after 9/11.
When did this game come out?
Do what?
When did this game come out?
09, 08, something like that.
A little late to the Al-Qaeda train then, huh?
Well, this actually stretches on a number of years.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yes, we have a long story.
Oh, man, I'm terrible. Okay, keep going.
on our way to Hicks, our terrible twosome, end up killing dozens of guys, trek through all sorts of traps, go through a basement full of nerve gas or something, and all sorts of crazy shit.
Salem to Dalton, this area is full of some kind of gas, over.
With proceed with mission.
Cannot hear you requesting permission to abort mission. Room is full of gas and we don't have the right gear, over.
Negative. Mission. Stay out of gas. Cleaned up and you. Over and out.
Hey, let's hurry, we can't stay in this gas for long. This ain't right. Sending us in here without even a gas mask? I'm gonna talk to Dalton when we get back.
I'm telling you, man, something's going on here. Why is Dalton handling this mission?
Will you shut up with this shit already? Focus on what you're doing and don't waste your time with this nonsense.
Don't you think that is a little suspicious?
You want to solve a mystery? Okay, I got a game of Clue you can play when we get back home. Till then, just focus on getting out of here without getting killed or getting some strange disease.
But, anyways, they find the SSC goon that they were supposed to find, and he's not very alive. I mean, he gets out okay, but he'd been, like, tortured, poisoned by some chemical agent. But they managed to kill the head bad guy and blow up all the missiles at the facility and escape with Hicks.
Alright, that's great.
Yeah, but there's something else in this mission that's touched on that I really didn't like from the videos that I saw. There's a buddy of ours throughout the game. His name is Section 8. He's an acquaintance of Rios's. Yeah. Hold on. His name is it's okay. Are you ready to spell this out in your head?
I'm going to try.
Okay. Section 8 is spelled S3KSHUN8. And here's the infuriating thing about this. Section 8's dialogue, he's our hacker who gets us through a lot of tight spots in the game, because Soviet-era Afghanistan missile bases had top-grade hackable security, of course.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, the thing is with Section 8, he doesn't talk out loud. You see text appear, and the thing is, he talks entirely in leap speak. I can't believe I am fucking saying that in 2013, but all of his dialogue's in leet speak. It moves way too fast, it isn't read out loud, and unless you can pause a video or you're very good at reading it, the only thing you get is basically Rio summarizing it.
Man, I would have thought that was hilarious when I was in 8th grade.
Yeah, the thing is, were you in 8th grade when this came out?
No,
Yeah, there we go!
I was in 8th grade like 10 years ago.
It's very annoying. I saw him pop up and talk a number of times during gunfights. It's like, what the hell, guys?
Wow.
Yeah.
The Federal Trade Commission has just approved the merger of Security and Strategy Corporation with Black Mountain Industries, creating the largest private military corporation in the world.
But anyhow, following that level, we see a cutscene mentioning that SSC merged with its largest competitor, making it the largest PMC in the world. It's also got some CEO named Stockwell who's of importance, but we'll come back to that later on.
I bet their stocks did really well after the merger.
I got it.
A controversial move which has some critics worried that SSC has become too powerful.
The most important factor for us is the security and safety of this nation and our allies. As always, SSC is here to support and interact with our nation's
So, you two ready to go back to Iraq?
and to make sure we all have a bright future.
Iraq.
I have time for about 2 questions.
I'm sure you've heard about the recent wave of ambushes on U.S. troops. It's a lot of bad press. So, get this. The Army's hired us to carry out a high-priority mission. They think we're better equipped to deal with the potential ambushes than they are.
Hey, as long as they're paying, I don't give a shit what they think.
You got that right.
Your mission is simple. Make your approach via hovercraft, landing on this beach. Then cross this bridge to this U.S. Army base. The base is under siege and nearly everyone has been evacuated. There's a U.S. officer there who is vital to the coalition. You need to transport him to the helipad near these warehouses. His name is Lieutenant Colonel Eisenhower. You can review his file here.
That's Sam.
I can't stress enough how important it is
We'll
that
definitely
he's not
keep him out of
injured.
trouble.
You better, because Because if there's an ambush, your orders are to protect him with your life. The road between the rendezvous point and the helipad is crawling with insurgents, all led by Ali Youssef. Remember him? If you manage to take him out, there's going to be a substantial reward waiting for you. But this is only a secondary objective. Protecting Eisenhower is your primary objective. Everything clear?
You got it.
Good luck, guys.
Okay, 2 years later. It is 2003. Our buddies are in Iraq, and they have to go bail out an old Ranger buddy named Lieutenant Colonel Eisenhower. They didn't really have... No relation.
Okay.
Hey, Sam? It's me, Elliot, from the Rangers.
Never thought I'd see you again. Still a little bitch, look at you.
Are you okay, man?
Looks worse than it is, man, I'll be fine. What's it been, like 10 years?
Longer, since way back in Somalia, man.
Listen, I'm sorry about the shit I said back there. You guys did a great job today.
It's all good, man. It was good to see you again after all these years.
Yeah, be safe, bro.
You too. We'll grab a beer when this war is over, you son of a bitch.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Rios to Murray. Mission accomplished. Eisenhower's on the chopper. Should we proceed to extraction ourselves or to...
Holy shit!
What happened?
That's Eisenhower's chopper.
Eisenhower's helicopter, it just blew up.
Shit. I'll call the DOD. Over now.
It just explodes. Just nothing hits it, it just goes boom and kills everyone on board. You know, our guys were still on the ground. They just had to make sure that he got off with the chopper. So basically it blows up, and some bad guy in the area apparently took what's the word? A bad guy in the area said that he did it.
He took...
He probably boasted over the radio or something. They weren't real specific. But anyways, our super friends end up having to go find the bad guy and kill him. And it's mentioned in passing around here that by this point, almost all of their old buddies from the 75th Rangers were killed.
He took credit.
Credit, thank you. Yes, he took credit for it. Thank you.
Do you think he knew something? Who? Eisenhower. You think that's why they killed him?
What, are you nuts, man?
They singled him out. They knew he was the one in that chopper. He knew something. They couldn't let him get back to the base.
Who's they? What's with you and all these conspiracy theories? He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Simple as that. Aside from Dalton, we're like the only ones left alive from our squad.
Except Pedro.
4 guys out of 10. That's not good odds.
War is a dangerous business.
Now, honestly, this is kind of a plot point they don't ever really come back to. They do get whittled away, but it doesn't make any sense. But, whatever. So, you know, they finish up. They kill the guy responsible for killing Eisenhower, or claiming he did. And at some point in the future, we're skipping ahead 5 years.
Janice, this bill will replace our enlisted force with a profit-driven army. It's completely absurd.
Is this true, Senator? Your bill would privatize the military?
What Senator Whitehorse seems to be forgetting
is that our enlisted forces just lost an aircraft carrier to terrorists. And that's not to mention all of the recent ambushes and unnecessary casualties. You see,
war isn't what it used to be. The rules of engagement don't apply anymore. Time and time again, we've seen that private corporations are better and more adept at handling this kind of threat. To put it simply, if the military isn't able to take care of business, we need someone who is.
I talked to Section 8 and he thinks someone is leaking U.S. troop positions to our enemies.
You gotta chill on the conspiracy theories, man.
Well, he thinks it's coming from inside SSC.
Must be the Illuminati.
Abort, boys, abort. Make your way to the evac point now. The chopper's on the way. You've been reassigned to a new mission. This is a big one. We've found the Constellation.
Some point around this period, an actual carrier, the USS Constellation, was actually captured and completely vanished. So at this point, the DoD and the military as a whole is looking pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, a carrier got stolen. Where'd it go?
How do you lose a
I
carrier?
don't know. And basically, it pops up suddenly in the South China Sea, and some group named Abu Sayyaf is responsible for it.
Oh man, that's where we put it. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's embarrassing.
God, we parked in the complete other lot. God.
200 miles west of Manila Bay. The Philippine government thinks their Navy can handle it, but the DoD thinks differently, which is why they've hired us. Your mission is to take control of the ship from the terrorist hijackers. You'll parachute onto the carrier. Philip Clyde will be with you.
What the? Clyde? Hell no, we're not working with him anymore.
Hey, Dalton says it's a 3-man job. You don't have a choice. You guys should touch down near the rear of the carrier, then make your way up to the control tower. These terrorists are with Abu Sayyaf, one of the most powerful terror organizations in the world. We don't know what their plans are, but as long as you two do your job, we'll never have to find out. Everything clear?
Yeah, we got it.
We're on our way.
All right, I'll contact you as soon as we have more details. Over and out.
So at this point, Rio Salem, I call them that because they are one entity at this cutscene. You'll see it when I edit it in.
Oh, I'm so pumped.
They jump onto the carrier using a parachute and end up fighting their way through a bunch of mooks, and they take back the carrier bit by bit. However, they find Clyde goes off and does his own thing.
Look who it is.
Learn to shoot, fuckos. I ain't carrying your corpses back to Dalton.
Look, we ain't any happier to be doing this with you than you are to be doing it with us. So let's just stay out of each other's hair and get this thing done.
No problem, fucko.
Fucko? Who says that?
And then they find, at some point later on, they catch up to Clyde, and you know what?
He was behind it all along.
Yes, Clyde is a bad guy.
Shit.
Both of you are fucking dead.
What the hell is Clyde doing?
He was helping the enemy, that's what he was doing.
I told you to mind your own fucking business.
He escapes, but he drops a flash drive full of plot. You know, several gigs of plot are on this.
Rio Salem, the captain of the carrier is still alive. You need to get him off the ship.
Alice, didn't you see what just happened?
What happened?
No, nothing, Alice. We'll talk about it later. We gotta jump. Over. What the hell are you doing?
What? We should tell her about Clyde.
Not until we know what's going on. I plugged that USB drive into my GPS, and Section 8 is gonna look at it remotely. Don't say anything until he tells us what's up.
They're then told some point later that it's basically some smoking gun or gigantic list of communications with terrorist cells, locations of troop positions, planned strikes, and so forth. And essentially, we could suss out from this was Clyde was passing it along regularly to terrorists so they could get the drop on U.S. troops and make them look incompetent. Kind of like how the carrier itself got grabbed in the first place.
Wow, what a dick.
Yeah, but kind of at this point, they don't really know how deep the rabbit hole goes, so they keep it to themselves. So they come across the Constellation's captain.
You all right, sir?
I'll be all right, but we got a real situation here. This ship's loaded up with stolen nuclear warheads. They're controlling the ship and they've booby-trapped the engine room.
And the carrier, for some reason, it was fixed on some collision path with Manila, and they couldn't change the course. They don't really go into why. Just because
it's
Don't look too closely at it. You can't. It doesn't work. Don't
full
even try.
plot ahead, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Full plot ahead. Thank you.
Try and get in there, and she'll blow quicker than a tie hooker. And we're on a collision course for downtown Manila.
You've got to be shitting me.
I'm a Navy captain. Bullshitting ain't in my job description. Now listen, the Navy SEALs are on their way, but we can't wait. I need you to help me bring this ship to the bottom before she reaches Manila.
Of course. We'll do it.
Good. Now take the elevators down to Hangar B. Pass through that hangar to Hangar C. I'll give you further instructions over the radio. And, good luck.
Seems like today, luck just ain't in our job description.
So much for the Navy SEALs saving the day.
Shit, bro. That's fucking Pedro.
Clyde did this. He killed Pedro, and he killed Eisenhower.
Eisenhower died in Iraq. You saw him die.
Clyde leaked those troop positions. He's responsible for what happened to Eisenhower.
Pedro, man. Eisenhower. They were the only ones left from our Ranger squad. I can't believe it.
Thank you. So Rios and Salem go about setting up some sort of method for scuttling the carrier before it can get to land. So our dudes get off the carrier using the only remaining life raft, and the captain volunteers to stay behind and blow the whole thing up while it's still out in open sea. So, understandably at this point, our two pals are pretty strongly considering turning in their pink slips and leaving the company after letting the USB's thumb drive go public. They're just going to put it out there, assuming it's Clive, or it could go deeper. They just don't know.
We simply cannot let these terrorists ruin our way of life. They sank one of our aircraft carriers, for Christ's sake.
That aircraft carrier was sunk by private military contractors.
In here,
the very same private contractors you would empower with your bill to privatize the military. You want to replace a military which has safeguarded our country for 240 years with corporations who profit from war.
Richard, you know as well as I do that it's not about what I want.
Elliot, where the hell are you?
It's about what the American
Hello,
people
are you
want.
listening to me? Can I call you right back?
The American people want to end this war.
It's about time you got here.
And when they go to the polls this November, they'll vote for the only military that can do that. The private military. Senator Whitehorse, this bill will pass.
Over my dead body it will.
I'm sorry, we need to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with Senators Richter and Whitehorse debating the bill to privatize...
Murray wants us to do another mission.
What? You said you wouldn't talk to her till we figured out if she's working with Clyde, leaking troop positions.
It's Murray, man. We can trust her. Besides, we already agreed we're gonna quit and go public with the evidence. What does it matter if we do one last mission? Come on, man. I can really use the cash.
All right, Alice.
When you got it.
You'll be heading to China. Sibu Mohammed is the terrorist mastermind who orchestrated the capture of the USS Constellation. He's the head of Abu Sayyaf and one of the most wanted men in the world. He's staying at the Jiangmin Hotel in the cliffs overlooking the
Lijiang River. He's extremely well guarded, so you won't be able to get close to him. Instead,
Your instructions are to destroy this bridge as his convoy passes over it in the morning. If Mohammed's bodyguards pursue you, head downriver and radio for extraction once you've lost them.
Everything clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell are you guys doing in South Korea anyway?
Just helping out an old friend.
Salem talks to Rios and said, hey man, let's do one more mission. Get some money and then we can blow this popsicle stand. Rios goes, oh well, whatever.
Okay.
So they're told that the head honcho of Abu Sayyaf, the guys behind the Constellation thing, he was actually in China for some reason. And he was crossing over a bridge on the Lijiang River at a certain point in time. So they get in position, they see the guy's whole entourage crossing over the bridge, and they blow it up.
Over and out.
Mission accomplished.
Now let's get the hell out of here. What the hell's going on here, Alice? This ain't Abu Sayyaf, it's Chinese military.
I don't know. Right now I'm trying to find your inbound channel. It's like it completely disappeared. Over.
You mean we got no way out of here?
That's what it looks like. Look, let me figure something out. Over.
One last mission, huh? Great fucking idea.
You could have said no.
Fuck you.
Guys, you're not going to believe this, but there's a contract out on you two. You're wanted for murder.
Say what?
We didn't kill nobody. Well, actually, we killed a lot of people.
Wow, it's a huge bounty. This must be some kind of mistake. Well, let me look into it. Over and out.
Murder? This is bad, man. Real bad.
And they are then attacked by the Chinese military for some reason.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I was China, I'd be pretty mad if you blew up my bridge as well.
But the thing is, this was almost immediate.
Oh.
So this entourage was not Abu Sayyaf. The entourage was the Chinese military for some reason. It turns out that the guy on the bridge was not Abu Sayyaf. It was actually an entourage for a U.S. senator who was visiting in the area. And the thing is, this senator appeared in an earlier cutscene. His name was Richard Whitehorse, and he was some big anti-PMC guy.
Oh boy,
So-
that's gonna make us
Yeah,
look
so
bad,
essentially you did wet work for PMCs to kill this dude who was politically against them. Now, since the SSC gave them the intel, it's basically figured that the CEO, Stockwell, is probably on board with the plot. You know, like, he's probably on board trying to kill them. You know, they probably think the entire company is on their asses at this point. Because they had that thumb drive. You know, they pretty much said, well, maybe this went all the way to the top.
Well, yeah, but if you blow up a senator, I mean, I can't imagine his stocks are doing too well anymore.
Well, he's with the PMC, though, and this guy was an opponent of PMC, so stocks do well.
Oh, I suppose.
Yep, it's a buyer's market.
Hey, Tice, who do you think's the best rapper in the Wu-Tang Clan?
Elliot, we just got set up to kill a U.S. senator. Our careers are over, and we're in a life and death situation. Why are you asking me this shit right now?
A lot of people say it's the RZA, but I kind of like Ghostface Killah. And so, actually, I don't think I ever heard the You Got album. Did you hear that?
Will you shut up with this stupid bullshit and let me think?
Chill, man. I get it. We're both under a lot of pressure. You cope your way, I talk Wu-Tang.
If you don't shut the hell up, you'll get the coke put up your ass.
Rio, Salem, you there? I've been doing some digging on Dalton and Stockwell and... Hey, wait!
You're coming with me.
They got Alice!
Fuck this shit!
Okay, let's get out of here. What the fuck are we gonna do now?
Head back to Miami. We gotta rescue Murray.
Okay, let's do it.
So, at this point, Alice is kidnapped, and they're kind of like, well, we can't just let her, you know, we can't just let them kill her. So they go and meet up with earlier on, before they did this mission with the SSC, when they were already in Korea, they were doing a mission with an acquaintance, a weapons dealer. The weapons dealer his name is Cha Min Soo. And the thing is, they get in contact with Cha Min Soo, and he agrees to he lends them a cargo plane and a pilot, and they use that to fly toward Florida, which is where the SSC corporate headquarters are.
Is this all still the same game?
Yeah, it's still the same game. So basically, at this point, they need a plane. He gives them a plane and a pilot, and they say, we need to fly to the corporate headquarters over there and, you know, force their way to the top and, you know, free the girl who's presumably over there. And, you know, they assume Stockwell's the head honcho, so they pretty much are, at this point, they're just like, fuck it, let's just sink this whole company.
And we at SSC are doing everything in our power to find whoever is responsible for this tragic incident and bring them to justice.
We owe you one, man.
Just take care of my pilot. And bring my plane back in one piece.
We'll land at Marathon Airport and head straight for SSC Island. My guess is Dalton's gonna be up on the executive floors. We need to keep him from reaching the helipad on the roof.
I just hope that hurricane doesn't hit.
When we come back, they're saying this could be bigger than Katrina.
Hurricane?
A Category 5 hurricane headed straight for South Florida. We'll
Still
have
no
the latest
response.
in just
No,
a
sir.
few minutes.
Not since they refueled in Mexico.
Scramble 2 of our birds and keep them out of the path of that storm.
Unidentified aircraft. Change course to 0790. We will escort you to landing. Do you copy?
The jets are outside, the F-15s, and they notice that the pilot is actually dead.
Oh.
The pilot of the cargo plane is dead. You want to know how?
Tell me.
Clyde's on board.
Oh.
I don't know how.
We probably should have checked for that before we got on.
Yeah, he snuck on board, and basically they go through a big old fight. And something I find very weird here, the F-15s, when they see the pilot is dead, they immediately say, well, we should shoot down the plane.
Yes.
Not even think about who else is on board. They just don't want it to crash. Like, well, let's just shoot it down over the ocean. So they shoot one of the, take out one of the engines. And at this point, they see the gunfight going on board. They're kind of like, okay, we aren't getting a radio response. The pilot's probably dead. And now there's the little issue of the gunfight inside the cargo plane. The F-15s are pretty much told, okay, don't let it down gently. Just fucking bring that thing down.
What an idiot.
Alright, she's going down. Let's go.
Roger that.
Let's get out of here. Open, damn it. Open!
So they shoot it down, and just through sheer luck, our buddies managed to walk away from it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see it in the cutscene. They managed to get away from it. And at this point, they're sort of like, well, Clyde was still on board. He's dead. Meaning, he will absolutely not come up again. Clyde is completely dead.
Like, really completely dead, or wink wink, kind of dead?
What do you think?
I'm going to wait and find out for myself.
Okay, fine. So now, they're at the Miami airport. That's pretty much very close to where they were. And something else to bear in mind, this is like right in the middle of a crazy hurricane, so a lot of the streets are flooded and stuff. So actually, at one point in the level, you actually use some one of those fan boats to get around. It's quite funny.
Oh, that rules.
Yes.
Wait, how do we get to her? He said Murray's being held here at the airport. She's in the luggage area. We're supposed to look for some double doors on the top floor.
Top floor, double doors, got it. Man, Chaman and Sue's gonna be pissed when he finds out we wrecked the plane.
That plane cost $20 million easy. He's going to have us killed.
Yeah, but he's our boy. We're tight, man. He's not gonna do something that drastic.
Not too long into this whole push, Chaman Sue contacts you, and he says, hey, I've just realized the pilot I sent you is dead. The plane is gone. That plane was like $20 million. What the fuck happened?
Oh, it's such a long story.
Yeah, so he radios our platonic pals, and they say, well, it was Clyde who was responsible. And Sue says he will pay them money and supply a chopper if they will use it to kill Clyde. And just before Rios could say that Clyde is already dead, meaning he'd probably not pay them and not give them a chopper, Salem stops him and says, oh yeah, we'll find him and we'll kill him. You know, the chopper would come in handy and we get some cash.
Yeah, sure.
You know, what's the harm?
You wrecked my plane? You killed my pilot? I do you a favor, and this is how you repay me?
It wasn't us, it was Clyde. You killed the pilot and crashed the plane.
Clyde? Who is Clyde?
Philip Clyde. He works for SSC.
Tell you what, I'll send a helicopter to get you on the airport roof. Use the helicopter to find that motherfucker Clyde and kill him for me. Also, if you see any of Clyde's personal guards, kill them too.
But Clyde
is gonna be gone. We'll get him for you.
What are you doing, man? Clyde died in the plane crash.
Relax, man. It'll be fine.
So soon after this, they find Alice and find that rather than the CEO, Stockwell, plotting against them, it was actually their old CO, Dalton. So basically, his plan was he got his hooks into the company and was working with Clyde. And the gist of it was they would use this information they were acquiring to make the U.S. military look very incompetent and essentially cause PMCs to gain more credibility, because it's kind of like, well, look at our guys, they're doing so great and they're cleaning up all of your messes. So, basically, that was the whole push, and Dalton was using Stockwell as like a puppet head or a front, and essentially, if information got out like this, then Stockwell would either be turned in or he would be killed, and then Dalton would step up as the head honcho in place of him. Either way, Stockwell was going to die at some point, and he was not the guy behind this. Okay, so the new plan, save Stockwell. So they aren't too far from the SSC headquarters. So they track him down and need to protect him. At this point, though, when they're closing in, Cha Min-soo contacts them, and he says, "Hey guys, guess what? You haven't killed Clyde yet. You want to know how I know? Because I've actually hacked your helmet cameras." So he pretty much says, "Hey, I want you to kill Clyde, and I want to see that shit happen." So it's kind of like, well, Clyde's already dead.
Wow.
So they're both kind of they're talking to each other, kind of like, what the fuck do we do? Because he already gave us a camera. I mean, they already gave us a chopper, and we can't double-cross this guy. We can't just, even though there's no real harm done at this point, it's kind of like he's not the kind of guy you want to say you lied to and used.
No, I can't imagine he would be.
I can't believe all these years we never really knew who Dalton was.
You know, you gave me all this shit about conspiracy theories, but it looks like I was right on.
Okay, you were right. Is that what you want? You want to say I told you so? Go ahead.
I told you so.
There, you said it. How does that feel?
Good.
So, you get to the headquarters to deal with Stockwell, to save Stockwell and all that stuff, and the main thing right here is to basically, to stop Dalton. So you do a push to the top floor, and you find that Dalton is on the top floor, but you know what? So's Clyde. Clyde actually survives, so everything works out.
All right, great. So let's kill him and go home. And
he lived, but this is actually rectified by Salem actually roundhouse kicking Clyde and sending him out a window. That is actually what he does in a cutscene.
Wow.
And he most definitely dies by the ensuing fall. And also, it should be noted that if you didn't like Clyde by this point, they pretty much pull out all the stops in the entire boss fight. He is trash talking you, and past a point, he just sounds fucking silly. I'm going to put a clip of some of his trash talking right after this, and just some of them, the writers were just trying to be as funny as hell, because this guy's just messed up.
What now? What, you think you'd get some kind of medal for ratting out me and Dalton, huh? Well, all you're gonna get is a fucking bullet in your fucking head! I'm gonna tear you up so bad, your own mama ain't gonna recognize you.
No! Leave my mama out of this!
I'm gonna kill you both. Slice you open and go to an aerobics class wearing your intestines for leg.
Does that even make sense?
I'm gonna kill you both, then I'm gonna drain all your blood, take out your bones, put your body in a big chair with some elves and reindeer, and sit on your lap and tell you all the cool shit I want for Christmas.
This guy clearly had a messed up childhood.
Get them!
You think?
But after that, you're on the roof, and you find that Dalton is escaping in a helicopter, and you don't get a boss fight. You're just put in a cutscene where pretty much Rios pulls out a stinger and shoots down the chopper immediately, right when Dalton gets behind like some machine gun. He's kind of like, man, this is what happens when you try to bend the rules, see?
Survey says you're dead.
And then it's kind of like, nope, stinger, dead.
Done. Just done.
Yep. And then our buddies kind of say, hey, we need to get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Former CEO of Security and Strategy Corporation Ernest Stockwell was released from prison today after serving 3 months of his 6-month sentence. This has caused controversy, with some saying the Department of Justice was already too lenient on Stockwell. whose company was involved in last summer's massive privatization scandal and was implicated in the deaths of Alaskan Senator Richard Whitehorse and countless U.S. servicemen and
Where the hell are you? I've been trying to reach you for days.
What? Rios?
Yeah, hun, listen. Me and Elliot started our own firm, Trans World Operations. So, we need a good contract filer. You available?
Wait, you guys?
Started a PMC? Where'd you find investors for that?
You know, we have our sources. Anyway, I gotta jump. So how about it?
You in?
And in the aftermath, our Budinskis contact Alice and invite her to join their own PMC club they started up. It is called the Trans World Operators. TWO. As in, you see, Army of Two.
Like an army of two.
Get it? But that's the first game.
So that was all one game.
Yes.
More plot twist than a Metal Gear game. It's like if Snake was 2 frat boys instead of an old man with a broken back and lung cancer.
Yes, it's actually kind of like Snake and good Liquid as opposed to evil Liquid.
Wow.
Except there's no screaming of brother, and there's actually I think about it. Salem does take a lot of opportunities to take his shirt off, so he is kind of like Liquid in that regard.
So I'm actually kind of really mad at EA now for turning off the servers and robbing me of this experience.
I know.
Forget the Mass Effect 3 ending, forget SimCity, this is what I'm pissed off about.
Fucking priorities. But yeah, so that is the summary of the first game. Now get ready for Army of Two, Part 2, 50...
Video 2.
I can't remember the name of it.
The 40th
But
day.
yeah, wait for it.
Looking forward to it.